Good afternoon. Welcome to the MKL network. Tonight, we have a public service announcement about native reserves. We're your hosts, Kian Moulton Davis.
I'm Matthew Hutchings, and now we're going to cut to Lucas Jover on the scene, live.
Now that seems pretty normal to you, right? Clean drinking water. Look, I can just take a sip. No gotta worry about anything. No gotta worry about getting sick, getting disease, nothing like that. But in 61 Indigenous reserves across Canada, they still, in 2021, do not have clean drinking water. Justin Trudeau promised by March 2021, all Indigenous reserves would have clean drinking water and they would not have to worry about anything. Now it is May 2021 and that promise has not been upheld. With COVID-19 and everything going on in the world right now, the least a person should have to worry about is having clean water to drink. That's a basic human right. And we cannot uphold that for the native people of Canada who were here first, and we have done everything to oppress them, colonize them, all that, and we can't even give them clean drinking water. We always talk about reconciliation, healing our relationship with the Indigenous people of Canada, but we can't even give them clean drinking water in the reserves. This makes no sense to me, and we need to get this fixed.
Thank you for that report, Lucas. Now we will cut to a pre-recorded interview with a fellow Indigenous person. Welcome to the Kian News Hour. Today we are joined with a fellow Indigenous person.
Hi, my name is David Hutchings.
Yeah, so today we have some questions, and we were just looking for some responses on the issues that relate to the Indigenous reserves within Canada. So one of them is, as you know, most of us have drinking water within the city. You can verify that you also have clean drinking water.
Yep.
And we're very lucky to have it. But did you know that around 60 Indigenous communities actually don't have access to clean water? How does this make you feel?
Well, I actually didn't know that. It's quite concerning. I mean, it's a basic fundamental human right to be able to have clean drinking water to use in everyday needs. So it is quite concerning.
Yeah, it's a very concerning issue. So although Justin Trudeau has addressed that there is issues with the Indigenous community, he's not actually doing very much to change this. Do you think he should be doing more to help out these communities?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, like I said previously, basic fundamental human right. Everyone should have access to this, and not taking action is just cruel against these communities that actually need it very much.
Yeah, I believe that reserves, they deserve just as well treatment as the rest of us in the city and in Vancouver or Canada as a whole in general. Okay, so last question. So as you know, we all pay taxes in Canada. You definitely have experienced that now, especially since now you're an adult.
Yep.
But do you think that these taxpayer dollars should be used towards the Indigenous community? Because we're paying for a lot of different things. We're using tax money. But do you think more should be allocated towards Indigenous issues, such as clean water?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, taxpayer dollars are supposed to be back towards the community, help out the community in any way. So I think for sure more taxpayer dollars can be moved towards that area, especially as they need it so much. And it's a basic issue that can be pretty easily replaced.
I agree with that. Okay, thank you everyone. We're going to send it back to the newsroom. It's clear that this is a very big issue that's happening in Canada. Let's talk about some of the specific communities affected with our reporter, Matthew Hutchings.
Now we're going to dive deeper into the Navajo Nation, which have been deeply affected by this water crisis. About 15 to 40% of the Navajo peoples do not have any access to clean running water, and they have been completely neglected to be included in the water infrastructure project. And also, on top of that, is the reason why the water is so bad is there's heavily mining that is completely contaminating all the water, and to top that all off, the government is completely neglecting the Navajo Nation and not doing anything to address this. Okay, back to Kian.
Welcome back to the MKL. Today we are joined by a very special guest, Lucas Jover, who is a legal expert.
Thank you for having me.
It's great to have you here in the studio today.
So today we're just going to be looking at some of the rights First Nations people have with clean drinking water. So the Canadian government has a Safe Drinking Water for First Nations Act. And one of the laws in this act states First Nations people have the right to safe, clean, and reliable drinking water. As Matthew explained in the previous segment, the Navajo people do not have that, and that is a direct infringement on this law. The second thing we're going to look at is the Charter of Rights and Freedoms. In Section 7, it states, everyone has the right to life, liberty, and security. Now, a clean drinking water is essential to having life, and the First Nations people are not given that. Another thing we're going to look over is Section 15, Subsection 1. Every individual is equal before and under the law. Now, as we talked to Damon earlier in the show, he said he's never had to experience not having unclean drinking water. And these First Nation people are experiencing that on a daily basis. So that is another infringement of Charter rights and freedoms.
It's very saddening that there's so many infringements that are happening right now.
It's not okay.
Well, it's great to have you in the studio today. Thank you for coming in.
Thank you very much.
All right, that's it for our public announcement. Thank you guys for tuning in to the MKL network. Have a great night and stay safe.